Oblivion is known for its fantastic quests and storytelling, but what were some of the quests that went too far? In today's video, I will be giving you 5, in no particular order, of the most disturbing quests in the Oblivion Remastered. Oblivion, once again, is known for its vibrant world, epic adventures, and quirky characters, but beneath the surface it does hide something truly unsettling. Stories that will stick with you long after you've closed the game. Whether it's betrayal, manipulation, or just straight up horror, these quests push the boundaries of what you expect from an RPG. I've picked these based on their emotional impact, creepy vibes, and just downright shocking moments. I'll have to obviously make this clear, if you haven't played this game before or some of the quests here that you've not played, please beware of obvious spoilers. Be sure to also consider subscribing, I do post weekly videos on all things Elder Scrolls. At number 5 we have A Kiss Before Dying, a gut punch of a quest from the Dark Brotherhood questline that did leave me absolutely floored the first time I played it. This one is all about betrayal and a shocking moment that still hits very hard to this day, so let's set the stage for why it is so disturbing. To get this quest you must join the Dark Brotherhood, Oblivion's guild of assassins, and it all starts innocently enough as you murder an innocent person to join. Now you are guided by a key figure in the Dark Brotherhood, Lucien Lechance, a charismatic but intimidating speaker who hands out your orders. His presence is commanding and you do quickly learn that he is a big deal in the Brotherhood. The early quests are thrilling to say the least, sneaking into homes, staging accidents, and earning the trust of your new family. But as you do climb up the ranks, you do start to sense some sort of tension, whispers of an internal conflict, hidden agendas that creep in, and Lucien's cryptic warnings about loyalty do make you uneasy. By the time A Kiss Before Dying rolls around, you are deep in the Brotherhood's world, and the stakes are higher than ever. After you kill all of your guild hall members in Shaden Hall after a supposed traitor had made his way amongst the ranks, you just carry out your routine orders supposedly set by Lucien. However, that couldn't be further from the truth. But to cut a long story short, Lucien was put to blame. After the internal conspiracy in the Dark Brotherhood that Lucien was the one setting you up for failure, he was the one that was making you carry out all of these contracts on the existing Dark Brotherhood members. You organise to meet him at a location where you'll provide information about the actual traitor. You walk into a scene, however, that is straight out of a horror movie. Lucien, this larger-than-life figure, is strung up, skinned alive, brutalised beyond recognition. The cuts, the blood, the sheer brutality is a visceral image that Oblivion does not shy away from. I remember my personal first time playing just absolutely jaw-dropped at what happened. What made this so disturbing was more the shock factor value combined with the emotional weight. You had worked under him for a long time and it felt a bit more personal. Trusting his guidance and seeing him reduced to this mangled corpse felt like a betrayal of everything that you had built. The brutality of this scene with its vivid descriptions of cuts and beatings, as pointed out, is unlike anything else in Oblivion. It wasn't really just a plot twist, but more of a wake-up call that no one is safe. The Daedric quest for Mfal is set in the village of Bleaker's Way. This one is disturbing because you're not just fighting monsters, you're basically destroying a community for no good reason other than a Daedric prince's twisted relic. Let me tell you a bit about this. In Oblivion, Daedric quests are sort of like side missions tied to all of the Daedric princes, powerful godlike beings who love meddling in mortal affairs, to put it simply. To start this quest, you'll need to reach level 15 and find her hidden shrine in the wilderness north of the Imperial City. Now, Mfal is the Daedric prince of lies and manipulation, thrives on sowing discord to her followers and hint tasks that are all about deception. Now, you might have explored Cyrodiil's diverse towns, from its bustling cities to the quiet hamlets, and you're used to NPCs being chatty or helpful. Well, Bleaker's Way, a small village tucked away into the Great Forest, seems to be like one of those peaceful spots at first. It is home to 2 families, one Nord and one Duma, living in harmony, no racism, no conflict, just a tight-knit community. You can go ahead and talk to the locals, who seem to be quite proud of their unity, and it does feel like a rare utopia in Oblivion's often chaotic world. But this is a task for a Daedric prince after all, but it is simple and sinister at the same time. She wants you to tear Bleaker's Way apart. Specifically, you are told to murder the heads of the 2 families without getting caught, and plant evidence to pin each killing on the other family. The goal? Spark a feud that destroys the village harmony. You sneak into each leader's home and dispatch them quietly, leave items like a family ring or dagger to frame the rival clan. Once the deeds are done, you return to Bleaker's Way and the plan unfolds. The families believe in the planted evidence, erupt into a brutal fight, You can quite literally stand there and watch as neighbours who once shared meals turn on each other with swords and spells, fighting to the death in the streets of their beloved community. The village, once a symbol of peace, is left in ruins, all for a Daedric prince's amusement and her reward, which is quite a powerful relic. At number 3 we have Infiltration, a quest that's equal parts infuriating and guilt-inducing. This one had me feeling like I'd been punched right into the gut, both for what I did and who tricked me into doing it. Let me dive into the story for you. The quest starts simple. Clear out a cave of trolls, escort a merchant, that sort of thing. But as you do progress, you hear rumours about the Blackwood Company, a rival mercenary group that's undercutting the Fighters Guild with shady tactics. They're based in Leowyn, and their reputation for ruthlessness makes you wary. By the time Infiltration comes up, you're a trusted guild member of the Fighters Guild, working to uncover why the Blackwood Company is gaining so much influence. Now, your guildmaster suspects that they are up to no good, and you're sent to investigate their operations. Now, this Fighters Guild storyline has been fairly straightforward so far, but there is a growing sense of competition and a moral unease as soon as you learn more about this Blackwood family method. Now, you are tasked with going undercover to join the Blackwood Company and figure out what they are exactly hiding. You pose as a recruit and they send you out on what seems like a standard mission: clear a cave of goblins that are supposedly threatening a nearby village. Now, to prepare you, they give you a drink called Hiss Sap, which they claim boosts your strength. You chug it and suddenly everything feels off. The screen blurs and your character does stumble. You're thrown into a frenzied state and you storm to the cave, slaughtering what you think are goblins with reckless ambition. It is chaotic and almost quite satisfying taking all these goblins out until you snap out of it, when you find out that the haze clears and the goblins weren't monsters at all. They were innocent villagers and you had just massacred every single one of them whilst under the influence of the Hiss Sap. The Blackwood Company orchestrated the whole thing, using you as a pawn in their twisted scheme. As you said, it leaves you feeling guilty for those poor people, and pretty annoyed at the Blackwood Company for manipulating you. The quest does set up a personal vendetta, making the eventual takedown of the company feel very satisfying. After you thought you were doing a routine job only to discover you have committed this horrific act, the image of realising those goblins were villagers, people with lives and families, is haunting, especially since Oblivion doesn't shy away from showing the aftermath of your actions. It's a rare quest that makes you hate yourself and the perpetrators at the same time. No surprise here, it is another Daedric quest, this time for Moolog, a quest that is pure psychological torment. This one is about breaking a good man's spirit in the cruelest way possible, all for a Daedric prince's sick amusement. Like Mfal's quest, Moolog is a part of Oblivion's Daedric questlines, where you serve the whims of these powerful deities. To start, you need to be level 17 and find Moolog shrine in the wild wests of the Imperial City. Moolog task is to break Melus Petilius's spirit. Specifically, he wants you to push him to kill you in a fit of rage, corrupting his vow to never harm another unless absolutely necessary. How though? You are tasked with desecrating a grave, enticing him into attacking you, dropping him a mace that he will then use against yourself. He grabs the mace and attacks you. The quest ends with his mind shattered, his heroic spirit crushed, all for Moolog amusement and his reward, a powerful mace. But the horror doesn't quite end there. If you return to him later, as you mentioned, he is a wreck, muttering, his sanity further eroded by the actions that you did. This quest is a pure masterclass in psychological horror. You're not just killing someone, you're dismantling a good person's soul, piece by piece exploiting his grief. The final quest on today's video is A Shadow over Hackdirt, a quest that's Oblivion's gold standard for horror. From the moment that you arrive to this place, the vibe is off and it just keeps getting creepier. Let me dive into it and tell you a little bit about this quest. Now, by the time you probably stumble over this quest, you've likely to explored Citadel's vibrant towns. You may pick this quest up in Quarrel, where a worried mother asks you to find her missing daughter, who vanished after visiting Hackdirt, a remote village south of the city. Now, alternatively, you could just wander into Hackdirt while exploring, as the quest triggers whether you're prepared or not. Now, Hackdirt is a little village tucked away in the wilderness, and as you approach, the atmosphere shifts a lot. The buildings are quite run down, the air feels heavy, and the locals, unlike Oblivion's usual friendly folk, are quite cold and hostile. The vibe here is immediately off. They glare, give short answers, and quite clearly want you gone. Now, if you've played other quests, you might have dealt with bandits or Daedra, but Hackdirt's creepy dread is something else entirely. Your goal is to find Dharma, but Hackdirt's residents are no help whatsoever. Talking to them only deepens the unease. Some mutter about the Breathen or the Deep Ones, whilst others warn you to leave. You investigate the village, finding clues like Dharma's abandoned horse or strange notes in the inn. Now, the deeper that you dig, the weirder it gets. You discover Hackdirt's connection to a cult worshipping a mysterious entity. The quest leads you into an underground network of caverns beneath the village, where the true horrors do unfold. The caverns are claustrophobic, filled with eerie symbols and signs of something sinister. Every step ramps up the tension, from the creepy NPC encounters to the unsettling discoveries underground. The quest's climax forces you to confront the heart of Hackdirt's darkness, and the resolution leaves you shaken whether you do save Dharma or not. As you explore, you eventually find the young Argonian imprisoned in a cell. She is alive but shaken, having been kidnapped by the cult for their sinister rituals. Dharma explains that the villagers turned on her after she arrived, locking her away in the caverns. Now, at this point, you have two main options that can determine her fate. You can free her from her cell by picking the lock or finding a key on a nearby cultist and escort her out of the caverns. The most common outcome for players following the quest's objectives. Once you get to the surface again, she thanks you dearly and makes her way back to Quarrel, and you do get rewarded with a small amount of gold for Dharma to resume her life in Quarrel, occasionally seen in her mother's shop. However, if you delay too long or fail to find Dharma in the caverns, it is possible for her to remain trapped. The game doesn't have a strict time limit, but if you do abandon the quest or don't reach her cell, you may return to her mother without Dharma, leading to a sadder resolution where her mother is just left grieving. This quest in particular showcases Oblivion's horror ability because it nails every element of dread. The residents' creepy demeanor set the tone immediately, unlike anywhere else in the game, and they're not just unfriendly. You know that they are hiding something sinister. The slow build-up from the villagers' eerie silence to the cavern's nightmarish revelations keeps you on edge. It is a reminder of, when they put their mind to things, how well Bethesda can craft horrors, and how they can leave you thinking days after you've completed a quest. Anyway, that'll be all from me. Let me know if you think I missed any, and be sure to comment some of your opinions and experiences in the comments. If you want to see more videos just like this as well, please let me know. It's a bit of a new style, something I've never tried before, so let's just see how it goes. Once again, please be sure to consider subscribing if you did enjoy today's video for more just like this in the future, and have a great rest of your day.